You don't rise to the occasion, you fall to the level of your preparation. If you're sitting there wondering about why opportunities aren't coming your way, if you're looking at other people thinking, why are they getting all the opportunities? What's so special about them? You're honestly probably worried about the wrong thing. Especially in the world of entrepreneurship and personal development, I see a lot of people talking about how they can, really create opportunities for themselves. But before that, we have to ask ourselves, are you ready for the opportunities that you want to even come your way? Because I feel like people really skip over this step of actually being good at what you do, who you serve, how you make money. And that's why I talk so much on this channel about mastery and just doing the work, putting in the grind in order to be the best that you can be, so that when opportunity comes knocking, you're prepared. And I feel like right now on social media in particular, there's this whole concept of being a lucky girl or, it being your lucky year. But the reality is it's not about luck. It's about positioning yourself for opportunity, for success, for the outcomes that you're looking for. And so much about preparing yourself for opportunities that you can't yet see has to do with doing the work behind closed doors. Okay, I really want to just break down and give you guys an example of a friend and a former client. So the context is this. She has a beauty and wellness business that she has been running for honestly years at this point. And she's gone through so many different iterations of her business. There's been a lot of trial and error. She has really refined her pitch in terms of when she's talking to people and engaging in the sales process. But the thing is, she's also refined her product. Like what she sells is really good. It is genuinely one of the best products in the category that she's in that I personally have ever tried. I buy her products not because she's my friend, but literally because they're amazing products. Not even 2 weeks ago, I reached out to her about an opportunity. It was something that I saw on LinkedIn. I took a screenshot of it, I sent it to her, and I said, this is literally the perfect opportunity for you. Keep in mind, guys, this opportunity was basically a call for businesses within the area that she lives in, and the institution was looking to purchase products wholesale. So keep in mind, purchasing products wholesale is a lot more lucrative than trying to sell to one person. When you are selling something wholesale, it means you are selling bulk. You are selling many items of it at a specific rate. So here's the thing, the deadline to reach out to them was in 48 hours. So what she did was she literally sent them an email, essentially gave her pitch, showed how she can customize their products, which is something that they were looking for. And she also offered to drop off samples to them. So that's exactly what ended up happening. They reached back out. She ended up dropping off the samples. They tried her product. They chatted a little bit. This is the crazy part, okay? Hold on and listen to what happened next. Not only did they purchase the product from her, but you know what they told her? That nobody else had even reached out about the opportunity. So essentially they had a budget for products that they could purchase wholesale. Nobody else even reached out about the opportunity. So the entire budget went to buying her products. And the thing is, she could get on the internet and tell that story, make it feel like #luckygirlyear, but the reality is it's not about that. It is about being ready. And once the opportunity presents itself, you can set yourself apart. You can stand out from the pack by doing what people don't usually do or are not willing to do. In this case, she had an amazing product ready to go. She was able to customize the product. Why? Because she had years of experience under her belt and she had already engaged with customers before where she had customized the product. Not only that, but she was able to deliver an amazing pitch about why they should go with her. Again, she went the extra mile, not only just explaining who she is, who the product is, but she said, let me come drop it off to you in person, and she got to meet them face to face. Then the entire budget went to purchasing her products, and guess what? They are now talking with her about how they can stock their products in some stores. I'm sorry, y'all, but let's really break this down. Most people are sitting back, looking at others, wondering why they're getting an opportunity, why you're not getting an opportunity. But the reality is, you likely would have slipped up at one of these steps. First of all, do you even have anybody in your network who would bat for you, who knows what you're doing, who can vouch for you, who says your name in certain rooms? A lot of people don't have that, and it's not a reflection of, oh, they're not in a good circle, or the people on their camp don't want to see them win. It's not about that. It's a lot of the times people don't know what you do. So how can they say your name in rooms when they're not exactly sure how to advocate for you? The other thing is people not knowing what you do. It's not on them. It's not a lack of care on their end. It's probably on you. And I can speak to this. Guys, my first year in business, I made very little money. Why? Because I did not have a particular offer for people to purchase, right? So even though all my friends, all my family, everybody in my network knew that I had a business, they didn't know exactly what I did. Now it's so streamlined. I only have a couple of ways that people can work with me. If you're a business owner, you can either book a call with me or you can book a VIP day. That's really the only way that somebody like you who's a business owner watching this video could engage with me. There's not a million different ways. I don't have courses on this, offering workshops on that. Like, those are the only ways to work with me. So when it comes to positioning yourself for these unseen opportunities, positioning yourself for success, you have to be very clear on what it is you do, and you have to do it well. Another point that I really just want to yap about is this idea that indecision is costing you. Not taking action is costing you. And it's actually costing you more than failure or fear of failure would cost you. So let's take that exact same wholesale opportunity. Imagine if I had sent it to my friend and she had said, oh, I've never done something like this. Let me put together a whole package for them. Oh, which Canva template should I use? Oh, maybe should I customize it with these colors? 48 hours later, she might have still not sent the pitch, right? Indecision can literally cost you. Sometimes you just have to shoot your shot. You just have to take action. And action, guys, even if it's not perfect, it gives you one of the most valuable things that it can give you, which I always reference, which is data. So we think about data as this fancy thing that just lives in spreadsheets, but data is really just information to make better decisions, right? So if you are pitching yourself, if you are standing out there, if you are raising your hand for opportunities, if you are sliding into people's DMs, if you are sending emails, if you are cold calling, whatever it is, even if you're getting rejection upon rejection upon rejection, it is giving you data on what is not working, right? So now you can make better decisions moving forward and pivot toward what is going to work. And this is something that exists at every single stage of business, not just the early stages. But if you are already an established business owner, but you're maybe looking to gain more freedom in your business, and this might require you changing your service offering, pivoting, honestly, then it's still the exact same situation where indecision is costing you the freedom that you want. Indecision is costing you the income that you want because you're still so stuck in doing things the way that you've always done them, or maybe just, the way that has worked for you. And there's nothing wrong with that. There's a lot of power in knowing what works for you. There's a lot of power in having already scaled your business. But oftentimes, reaching a new income threshold requires you to reassess things and look at things with a different lens. So again, you can do things differently moving forward. And I love this concept of building your skills the way that a pro athlete trains. What does that mean? If we're looking at an athlete who does the 100-meter sprint, let's say, I don't know, I literally don't know anything about sports, guys, but let's just run with this, okay? They train every single day, all year long, except for the off season, in order to show up and be able to deliver in a moment that takes less than a minute, literally less than a minute. So how have they arrived at that point where they can be confident in executing and confident in delivering and confident that they're gonna win in the moment when it matters? And that has to do with what I mentioned earlier about mastery. It has to do with showing up every day and doing rather than just planning or thinking. Because as somebody who really advocates for planning, strategic planning, operational planning, all different types of planning, it is actually a completely different skill set than doing. I talk about it in another video of this idea that I call repetition flow. I think I coined that term. I actually think I coined that term. I don't think it exists anywhere else. But again, repetition flow is being in the flow of doing things over and over again. And something that's really closely related in terms of this idea of, basically building your skills like a pro athlete, training every day, showing up every day, is that your lifestyle determines your readiness, okay? So Your lifestyle determining your readiness is something that I can say is absolutely critical, especially in business. I primarily work with people who are solopreneurs or very small teams, okay? Where honestly, they are their business. So their lifestyle, how they live their life every day, directly impacts their business. So that means if they're not sharp when it comes to their habits, to their routines, then it impacts their business. It impacts their money. It impacts how much money they make. So their daily life basically needs to reflect the level of success that they want to achieve. Are they working smarter and not harder? Do they have the right systems in place? Have they developed a plan? Do they know how to have a strong, resilient mindset that allows them to show up every day and just execute? This is so critical because again, when you are your business and when your business is you cannot just focus on showing up and improving when you feel like it, right? Like you have to build that into your life. You have to build that into your mindset, into your habits, and have the sort of discipline that it requires to achieve a certain level of mastery so that once opportunity comes knocking, knock, 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 you are ready. So remember guys, it's not just about, oh, if only I got that opportunity. No, focus on staying ready. Don't worry about the blessings that are hitting other people. Your blessings cannot miss you, even if you wanted them to. Just increase your level of preparation in accordance with the opportunities that you are seeking. If this video gave you a little bit of a different perspective, if it motivated you, if it encouraged you, or gave you something that you need to think about, then make sure you hit that subscribe button down below, and also don't forget to give this video a thumbs up. Thanks, and I'll see you next time. Bye.